될지 몰라. Make a wish to the star. What a perfect Christmas night. Hot December. Hot December. Hot December. 왠지 작았던 지난 크리스마스 얼어붙은 시계 대엽이 돌아가 열이 오른 난너 널 만나면 어떤 너와 다를지도 몰라 오늘 같은 밤이면 말야 I'm so ready for the night 하얀 너 사이를 달려 I'm so ready for the night 파 Cause I feel it's hotter than this summer 고간 여름 바다를 닿는 듯해 창밖에 나얀 눈과 식지 않는 이 꿈 뜨거운 크리스마스 나 너에게 갈게 Hot December hot just because of you Hot December hot just because of you Hot December hot just because of you 뜨거운 크리스마스 나 너에게 갈게 다섯 번째 계절을 맞은 듯해 실이 난 넌 따뜻하게 내게 전해줄 수 있게 어린아이 같아 널 볼 때면 하던 너와 안길지도 몰라 너와 같은 맘이면 말야 I'm so ready for the night 하얀 너 사이를 달려 I'm so ready for the night 파 Cause I feel it's hotter than this summer 고간 여름 바다를 닿는 듯해 창밖에 나얀 눈과 식지 않는 이 꿈 뜨거운 크리스마스 나 너에게 갈게 Hot December hot just because of you Hot December hot just because of you Hot December hot just because of you 뜨거운 크리스마스 나 너에게 갈게
Good evening and welcome back to Keskalokil, my dwarven fortress that is mostly now not in the sea.
Mostly not got a flooding problem?
Yes, we've put most of the sea back outside it again by putting it down into the caverns.
Temporarily outside until the entire cavern fills up.
Hush, there's quite a lot of cavern spare. Look, notice how much cavern is not full of water. All this lovely cavern we can still fill up. Is that mud there? Yes. I don't know if that's caused by me. So you have to go all the way down here before you find the water. There's quite a lot of Z levels of water now at the bottom of the cavern, but there's far, far more air above it.
You've got a few seconds.
Like, I mean, if we actually, as I kind of plan to, open the sea directly into the cavern, then we will probably fill it up fairly quickly. But let's not do that just now. What's that random trench doing there? Oh well. I think I might have briefly decided I wanted to turn that into a drainage channel and then realised that it was in or near a aquifer, and that would be a bad idea. So I'm not quite sure because I don't quite. Did it pour down from that level? Maybe. Then why isn't there water pooling there? Curious. Ah, yes. Yes, I've not actually switched laptops yet because the other one didn't. The song was shorter than the time the second laptop takes to boot. So let's just organise that now. So the reason I stopped on Sunday was because partly it was about midnight, and partly because a dwarven trade caravan had just arrived, it being early autumn, and I thought it was about time I thought it would be far too much hassle to try to deal with that then, and so I put it off until now, because we probably need to haul a bunch of interesting items up here, like anything that contains things that we actually want to sell. There's at least some of that we can sell.
I assume these bill and jugs labelled contains one item are still all full of royal jelly.
Maybe, possibly they contain honey. A few of them probably contain honey. But, like, we shouldn't have very much honey around because honey should get brewed into mead fairly rapidly. So I think I think I'm happy to work on the assumption that they contain royal jelly, and sell full bill and jugs, and if we happen to sell some honey with them, well, that's fine. We'll make more honey. Oh yes, we do have a sock surplus now, which I mean is nice. It does turn out that if you dedicate an entire workshop to the production of socks, you can actually end up with too many socks. Well, yeah, I mean, I could have split things differently. I think I should choose something else that I will also make out of cloth. Basically, I just started knitting all the socks, which is nice because I hadn't previously been confident that we wouldn't just, we made a wax figurine of a giant elephant. How exciting.
It's a small wax figurine of a giant elephant.
Yes. Yes, I hadn't previously been confident I could actually saturate the dwarves' desire for clothes. But now I've proved that I can, at the very least, saturate their desire for socks. Can I melt that? Not easily. My plan is mostly to dispose of any worn clothes we've got. Yeah, actually, worn leather armour is a thing we could get rid of as well. I should probably check each of these for worn metal armour. We might as well melt down if we're going to not going to just keep using it. So I don't think there's anything I care about in there. I wonder if I can split off a place for keeping metal armour distinct from a place for keeping leather armour. It's like leather armour we just want to get rid of. Metal armour we probably want to either use or melt down. It's another, that's entirely new socks, isn't it? Yes. Try not to make too many more socks. Pink Meat asks, aren't elephants inherently giant? Yes, but giant elephants are even bigger. I think a giant elephant gets described by the game as an enormous monster in the shape of an elephant or something. So it's bigger than an ordinary elephant and even more terrifying. And you thought ordinary elephants were terrifying in Dwarf Fortress. Right, that seems to be all the bins, and I don't probably not going to bother trying to move anything that's not kept in a bin. It's just too tedious. So let's let that start while I have thoughts. Oh, good. Have you forgotten your demand for a iron bed? Because they're impossible. Yes. Your only demand was for an iron cabinet, and we were able to provide that.
It seems counterproductive to shout loudly in the notifications that someone's forgotten that demand.
Well, happily, the king can't read the notifications.
But if you so much as twitch an eyebrow, he'll go, oh, yeah, that reminds me.
You also can't see my eyebrows. Seb asks, are they impossible? Well, almost. In the normal course of the game, you can make beds only out of wood. And the observant will realise that iron is not a wood, and therefore you can't make beds out of it. It is possible for strange moods to create items out of materials they can't usually be created from. And when that happens, you can thus get a bed made out of keep that one. Get beds made out of iron. But in practice, I think that's technically a beak dog bone, which I think we might be able to process now, but doesn't seem to be being moved anywhere, so maybe I should dispose of it. Oh right, the reason that tooth is there is that it's managed to end up sharing on a square with a constructed statue, and you can't walk onto a square with a statue on it, which means that the dwarves can't actually remove the tooth from that square. So we'll deconstruct that statue, and that will make things better. Let's leave that thing stockpile there because it's useful for removing things. Notice dwarves still having fun in the thing. Right, so that's an awful lot of wagons. So another thing several things I'd like to do. One of them is I want to construct more pedestals. I think I've asked for them to be made, haven't I? Have I? Doesn't seem to be a make rock pedestal job there. Let's just check we don't have plenty of rock pedestals, because if we do, then we should construct some. No, right. 10 is an excessive number of rock pedestals, but they will keep. And we've got plenty of goblin heads to stick on them. Actually, is that a loose... What's going on there? Oh, that pedestal doesn't seem to have anything on it. Right, well... Snowdub Stockugskungongang, or something like that, has a head that wants putting on here. That's the bunny. Right.
Sparse meadow grass. I like that you surround that with a dense meadow fence.
Yes, I think the grass here may be a bit sparse because I'm trying to graze slightly too many animals on it.
As long as it's
that will also be bad for the grass. Yes. Yes, the fact that I'm grazing animals on the patch that we also tend to have most of our battles on is probably not good for the grass. Possibly we should move the animals somewhere else.
You'd hope that the blood would fertilise it, though.
Maybe we should put some effort into that. Can I overlap the fruit collection and the pasture? I don't know. Let's allow the broker to come to the trade depot. Yeah, there is a quantity of clothes still lying around there that we could fetch if we really need them. So we still have a bit of a booze shortage, and a definite leather shortage. So another thing I think I would like to do is to try to organise the military so that we have more squads, and so that we have a squad that is full of dwarves who know how to swim, so that we know that those ones can safely engage the goblins in the river delta. And I think the nice thing is that, of course, once a dwarf knows how to swim, they shouldn't forget. So we should just be able to put people, even if it takes a bit of effort to work out who can swim, once we've found people who can swim, we can stick them in a suitable squad and not have to worry about them thereafter.
The amphibious weirdos.
Yes, I was going to go for something a bit more vicious sounding, like the iron otters.
You could just go for the giant otters.
Yeah, could do, but like there are actual giant otters in the game. They're not the same as the real world giant otters. They are huge monsters in the shape of otters, I think. Actually, maybe they aren't giant otters. Maybe they're like giant sea otters and giant river otters. I'm not sure.
Giant otters are pretty terrifying in real life, you know.
Anyway, the iron otters are clearly a motor racing team.
True.
Well, no, they're a boat racing team.
Ah, yes.
I mean, we seem to have tongs appear to be our theme if we have one, but
Iron tongs, you know.
the otters of tongs. The tongs of otters?
Tonged otters.
I mean, currently they're called the momentous pages, but I think we can change that. Oh, we're stuck with having to build it using the name builder. Well, I'm pretty sure we can fix that anyway. Yes, giant otters are oversized cousins of the river otter, growing to the size of a small donkey. Some dwarves like giant otters for their playfulness and their fluffy faces. I think only animals turn out giant, Pink Beast, so you don't get giant giants. I don't think you get giant large rats either. And you do, I think, get giant pandas, but those are normal sized creatures, and gigantic pandas are the monstrous kind. Yes, as Jutton points out, you do get giant sperm whales, which are like stupidly large.
So a real world giant otter is 1.8 metres long. And I think that's bigger than a donkey.
Yes.
I think it might even be bigger than a large donkey.
So
Google AI overview says, yes, a giant otter is larger than a donkey.
Oops, that's too many T's. So it looks like otter is not actually an available noun. So currently it's gone for the momentous. Where does the come from then? So we need something wet.
I wonder if we change. I asked the Google AI nonsense thing. Is a giant otter bigger than a donkey? Yes. Is a donkey bigger than a giant otter? No. Is a donkey bigger than a donkey? Yes. There are different sizes of donkeys, and some are larger than others. Hooray for AI. That was EI. And the other quantifier.
I was hoping for of the sea, but maybe that we can't have that.
You could also ask, what are bigger than donkeys?
We could call them the armoured seas. You could call them the oceanic seas, but I think that would be unnecessarily repetitive. Justin says, I don't imagine Duffer is in the list. No, I fear not. Oh, I think the lyrical seas sounds like a very dwarven name. The oceanic seas of sea. I think we can only have of seas, curiously. What?
Splatter the lyrical seas.
Okay, we can have splatter the lyrical seas.
I'm not asking for it, I'm just laughing at it.
I'm naming my amphibious squad of dwarves, or possibly my squad of amphibious dwarves. Okay, I was hoping for turnips, but I turned up Saturnity. I should stop now before it gets any worse. No, I need something wet to be visible in the name. This is not helpful. It's true. Okay. Right. Yes, Justin agrees with Gareth, so clearly they're right. I think now what I want to do is slightly tediously go work out who is kind of military, which is limited by how I can find them. Well, let's go through everyone who currently has a military profession in here and see if they can swim. So, yes, that's roughly where we are. Ast Deducalis cannot usefully swim. Seb asks, so what are they called? Please summarise. My new squad is entitled, no, that's the Wanderers of Tongs, Splatter the Lyrical Seas of Turmoil. Unless someone wants to suggest that one of those names should change, one of those words should change. As Dedulakis was not helpful.
Are the they sputter the lyrical seas of turmoil?
I think the seas are of turmoil.
Okay.
But I'm not certain. Why are you stunned? Have you gone out in the sunshine again? You're only a dabbling swimmer, though. How about Momus Avus Lular? You're an adequate swimmer, right? You get to go in the new squad. Momus Avus Lular. Indeed, you get to be in charge of the new squad because you're the first one I found.
Never be first, never be last, and never volunteer for anything.
Currently a member of the Cobalt Tongs, now in charge of Splatter the Lyrical Seas of Turmoil. No, I think Dwarven, like many East Asian languages, doesn't actually have separate articles. Indeed, it's not clear to me whether Olin is... No, that's the Wanderers of Tongs, but even so, there. You'll notice that's Legon Olin. So... unless possibly Olin has got inflected to indicate of Tongs, or indeed possibly Legon has. I think I'm just thinking in both. I don't know quite which one is Legon and which one is Olin. So yes, this is only says Kekim Avanalas Bukith. Kekim was Splatter. Avanalas was the lyrical seas, and Bukith was of turmoil, or possibly just turmoil. It is notable that splattered, splatter, and splatter all get translated as Kekim, which does rather suggest that you need a lot of context to make sense of Dwarven sentences. Yeah, I think Dwarven is probably like Chinese, fully isolating language, and who knows how you work out the grammar.
I guess this is what causes most of the books to end up with reviews saying the prose is very self-indulgent.
Possibly.
No one can quite work out what the author's going on about.
Jutton says, quotes, the four predefined languages, Dwarven, Elven, Human and Goblin, have no real morphology.
Hold on, the four predefined languages?
Yeah, I was worrying a bit about that.
Can you make new ones on the fly? So is Jacob.
Right, so now on to Axe Dwarves. Zassit Inethshar. Can you swim? Not well enough. No, hang on. We still haven't checked these ones. Odom Olin Thurleth. Odom Olin Thurleth is a skilled swimmer. Was it a single D? So why do I not... oh, because they are... I think they're a militia commander, so I have to assign a new commander first. Right. Now we can stick Odom Olin Thurleth in there. Sogil Atirog. Are you any good at swimming? No. Kib Ralu Koltar. No. It's going to turn out that we have like 3 dwarves who can swim, isn't it?
At least you know about
Lib Yes, the point is I will now know where to find them. Led Sibrek Linlem. You can swim. Led Sibrek Linlem. Sarvesh Nelaserith. Oh. Id Unib Ilral. I mean, at least I'm getting a chance to practice saying their names before they're dead. No. Rather than just when reading their gravestones. Rith Tekud Onshen. No. Vutek Bomrek Karek. No. Eral. I've just thought of what I should have done. Now I'll finish this lot first. Eral Duthno Thikut. No. I should have put all of the military squads into. I should have given them all orders, so that then they would all be marked as military here, which would have helped. Anyway, Tholtig Ulzes Dishmab. No. Toulon Cathilendok. No. Edem Ile Inethatast. No. Avuz Ginetasmel. Yes. Avuz Ginetasmel. Bomrek Ogba. No. Onul Atirast. No. And Shorest Nakuthdela. No. Right, okay, well we've got 4 dwarves already in the military who know how to swim. We should now refill the gaps in that's left in the existing squads, but the Wanderers of Tongs don't appear to have been on duty at the time. Put in someone who could at least use some kind of a weapon. Um, it looks, yes, so the cobalt tongs, yes, were on duty at the time. The ageless inks were on duty at the time, but we ideally would also check up on the wanderers of tongs and work out whether any of them can swim. But we have the beginnings of our, well, the Marines, I suppose, of our swimming capable squads.
I feel as if they're only Marines if you get them to where they're fighting on a boat.
Yes, and we don't really have any
They're merely
boats.
amphibious assault squad.
I think, does that do what we want? Yes, so we'll put them on staggered training like everyone else for now. Yes.
Meanwhile, what happened to those merchants?
Yes, well, sadly time wasn't passing while I was doing that for the most part. But yes, they are ready to trade. So, worn clothing is in general available. We generally don't want to buy metal. We can mine enough. Similarly, rock blocks. We can make raw glass. We don't generally want clay. I mean, wood is kind of nice and very cheap. So I'm kind of tempted just to buy all their wood. It saves hauling so much stuff up from the caverns, or not the caverns, near the caverns. I mean, I don't know that we need many more puzzle boxes and such. I think we've got a decent stock of toys now. We generally don't want animals, except possibly if they can lay eggs. Turkeys are quite good for eggs. Probably don't need that many eggs anyway. We are doing all right for food. We do want all your beer though, because we are still not making it quite as fast as we would like. It would be good to have a better stock. They didn't bring very much, did they? General rule, buy steel weapons. Let's add some more things to the list until they're actually making a profit again before I keep going down. Partly because this is the boring side, so I should interleave it with the interesting side on the left. Yes, I do have today's stream intro music going round and round inside my head again. It's almost the entirety of the contents of that bin. Large, probably shouldn't give away the bins. I think we still have a ban on exporting bins, even though that doesn't mean we end up with too many bins. We have no shortage of bracelets and such because we turn all of our beeswax into them, and our current position is we're willing to sell bill and jugs no matter what they contain. If we will not sell empty jugs, but if we happen to sell a few jugs of honey, that's fine. Obviously, what we need is, I wonder if it would work to have a noble who likes honey, would they then ban the export of honey, and therefore the jugs full of honey would appear in pink on here to tell me not to export them? Might work. Thus I could distinguish. There's also, might be some jugs of oil, of course, which we'd also quite like not to lose. But, well, whatever. We'll buy some more rock nuts and squish them. All right, we're back to green. Let's buy some more things. Steel spears, those are probably good. I mean, maces might be better in silver. Nice heavy metal, as it were. Might be an overpriced pick. Who needs training weapons when you can practice with real weapons? We'll have a steel mail shirt, please. We might possibly be able to sell some chains. Don't know. While we're temporarily not forbidden from exporting chains. So I think the king likes chains. You really could do with a mayor who doesn't like bins. We'll sell socks, but not the worn-out ones. But only the worn ones. We'll not sell our brand new socks. Or almost new socks. Socks removed from goblins who didn't get their feet hacked off. Oh, we're back in the green. I can go through here and find some more things I want. We do not need to buy new shields, new socks. We are generally in favour of wooden shields, even though that means we have to make them more often. We can make our own clothes for the most part. Don't need any boxes or bags unless they contain rock nuts. You've not brought any rock nuts with you. That's kind of annoying. Apparently not. We want all the cloth they brought with them. I'm never quite sure about cloth. Yeah, I suppose we could. While we have been making clothes out of leather, we can always make clothes out of. I think I should start making more clothes out of fabric, just so that we don't end up with so many socks. Cloth, leather. I suppose I could not buy the leather and cloth in bins. I could carefully select all of the items in the bins, thus avoid increasing my stock of bins. Might be wise, just so we don't have to store so many bins. But then that will require carrying each item of leather down to the stockpile separately. But then they will get re-binned, which might make them a bit more compact if these bins aren't completely full already. I think you can't put bins in bins, though I'm not entirely certain about that. You can store bins in minecarts, which can give you a bit more space. And of course, I suppose I could like muck around quantum stockpiling bins or something. Now, I do actually want to sell my honeybee wax scepter. Scepter. This is not a useful item.
The sceptre is an implement used for disbelieving things.
Yes, somehow. We should try to get trading with the elves going. I mean, not that they're likely to bring anything very useful. Humans seem better. They bring interesting booze. Lots of cloth, but cloth is good. Oh, we're back onto yellow levels of trader profit. Sell them some more jugs of probably royal jelly. Yeah, I've got a lot of jugs of royal jelly to sell. I think Gareth just tried to imitate an ostrich, but I'm not sure.
Well, half of one.
Okay. Gareth just tried to imitate half an ostrich. Let's not sell something that has a name. Might cause objections. So I should probably use the page down, since we actually have working page down on these scroll bars. They've brought a lot of cloth with them. They usually do. And I'm slightly worried that we're just going to end up drowning in cloth. Which is better, to be fair, than drowning in water. Doesn't involve any actual drowning, for one thing. Yes, it's true, we can just turn it all into socks. But I think we do actually have enough socks. that sock is unworn. Should obviously keep that one. Yes, this would be quicker if I were willing to buy the bins, but I'm trying to reduce the number of excess bins since we can't sell them.
I don't suppose you have keyboard controls with a load hit down space, down space, down space.
I don't think so. Possibly I could work out how to turn them on.
It just strikes me that the aiming with the mouse seems to be the slowest part of this.
Yes. Like in the old Dwarf Fortress, you could set up a keyboard macro to do this for you. But I don't think the new one has keyboard macros back yet. And its keyboard controls are less good than the old ones.
You wouldn't want to have mouse macros, that wouldn't go well at all.
I think it might be a bit iffy, yes. I don't think I can just... shift clicking doesn't give me range selection. For all its many good user interface features, the new version is a little less friendly towards like the power user sort of person who wants to actually be able to do the trading without considering every single damned item. Like in the old one, you could even go for select everything with an X in it, which will get you all of the worn clothing and none of the other clothing.
Right, well I need to get up tomorrow to do stuff with a vehicle, so I should go to bed.
Right, well, we're about halfway through the trading process so far on both sides. It may turn out that there's not so much stuff. I'm not going to buy any clothes in particular. Clothes? I'm not going to buy any clothes, but I'm not going to buy any food in particular. Well, maybe some cheese. They really have brought a lot of cloth with them. Still, that's an excellent way to dispose of things we don't want. We have conveniently converted the skulls of the various beak dogs that the recent goblins arrived on into totems, which we can sell. Troll fur socks we can keep because they're not worn yet. Sure, we'll reach the end of cloth and leather eventually. Strictly, this is not the section for cloth and leather. This is a section for bins.
Bins are sorted as it's a bin rather than what it's got in it.
Yes, but happily the only things that the traders bring in bins are cloth and leather, apparently. I mean, it could be worse.
I should try to avoid saying it's a bin too loud, but I might give Claire an ill one.
So, yes, it could be worse. They, in the stocks page, they appear to be sorted by what the bin's made of, which is like completely irrelevant for almost all purposes. Indeed, generally sorting things by what they're made of is not very relevant. Weapons, you care about it, and armour. Why was there a masterwork, a not significantly worn masterwork sock in this bin, hey? Surely that should not have been in here. Maybe someone got their foot cut off and thus no longer had a use for a masterwork sock.
Thought it'd be a good idea to trim my toenails with a scythe.
Yes. Right. There are a lot of socks in here because everyone who had an even slightly worn sock has replaced it with a brand new one. And now we're selling the worn ones. Also, the old version of Dwarf Fortress had a denser user interface, so you could get a lot more things on the screen at a time. Oh yes, something I didn't mention last session, I think, is that we have upgraded to Dwarf Fortress 50.15 because unlike 50.14, it didn't have a great big warning saying this might lose all your saves. And it so far hasn't lost any of my saves, so that's nice. Right, we don't want to buy figurines or sceptres. We can make plenty of figurines and sceptres ourselves. Or crowns or bracelets or large gems or anvils or meat or fish or plants, even plump helmets. I'm kind of the opinion that we should be able to more or less keep up with, let's buy some thread, with the dwarves' rate of drinking simply by I should probably check the thread situation, but we should be able to keep up with the dwarves' rate of drinking by just brewing what we can harvest from the trees mostly. So I'm buying a bit of extra booze for them, but I'm not going to go overboard with stocking us up on fruit. Still don't believe in ranged weapons. Should we buy some cheese? I mean, I'm like not trying to buy everything, but cheese is valuable. People like cheese. Go on, let's buy some cheese. We have got 2,700 food lying around already. Maybe not. Definitely okay for that. Oh, well, obviously we should buy every book we can find, except I think we already have a copy of Commentary on Burning. Oh, we'll buy a pedestal just to save making one. Might be some interesting codices, not sure. If we buy some parchment sheets, we might be able to turn them into things, I suppose. Right, I think we've now reached the bottom of the list of things that they have to sell to us and marked everything we want to buy. So now I'm just hoping that we've brought enough stuff to sell. Not selling toys, don't sell toys. Don't sell chains just yet. Do sell worn out leather armour. Don't actually care about quivers, to be fair. May as well sell a worn out sand pearwood shield. Don't generally use leather armour anyway, so even if it's not worn out, I may as well get rid of it. Good, another pile of bracelets. Don't sell the empty jug. Right, we're back into the green again. Let's just see if there are any other non-empty Billon jugs, or indeed jugs in general, we could sell. Because like if we can get those off our hands, that will help me. So like very worn armour should probably just go. It's not like it's valuable. Okay, trade. Yes, I'm sure you are ecstatic with it. You've gained an awful lot of stuff. Right, we now have 260 booze in the fortress, which has improved matters somewhat. And quite a lot of the other stuff is no longer an immediate problem. Yes, you've got to go away with an awful lot of old socks. Right, so what other things was I doing? Was slightly concerned about not having enough common stone, but I think we might have mostly fixed that. Because we did some mining out here of bauxite, which has helped matters. Possibly I want to find some more nicely coloured common stone to mine. I think currently I'm allowing the dwarves... Oh yes, there was a patch here, wasn't there? I thought I could clear out all of this cinnabar, because that's quite nicely coloured. It appears that when you mark blood-soaked walls for mining, they vanish entirely, which is kind of amusing. I don't actually want to mine that bit. It's not cinnabar. Oh, let's assume those bits in there are cinnabar and not worry too much if they turn out not to be. Right, that will get me some orange, which is not quite as much fun as the red of bauxite, but it's still nice. I did spot that down here we have a couple of layers of our old friend kaolinite, and it would be nice to get some more kaolinite. That staircase looks as though I might have been digging it down to try to get the kaolinite, indeed. I mean, I'm not sure it's a sensible access route, but maybe we should start mining it anyway. We can mark it with that, but I'm a bit worried that auto mining all the way up to the here might cause us to break into the caverns again. And we would quite like not to break into the caverns. Actually, what I think we should do is deliberately go up to the cavern wall, cut a gap around the cavern wall. Oh yes, I had another thought, didn't I? And then we can spread along it a bit. Let's do this at a slightly higher priority than the rest. No, don't do that bit at the higher priority. We don't care about that bit. But we can still do it. Right. The dwarves are now hauling individual pieces of cloth down to stick into the bins, which is kind of inconvenient, but so can we pasture any more birds down here? There's a guinea hen we can put down there. Probably if we search for hen, we'll get most of the interesting creatures. Didn't we buy a duck as well? Yes. Right. So that will get us we're still fabricating things out of bone. Good. Right, that tooth that was stuck in the statue has been removed. So we can reinstate the statue. Anyone actually doing any mining in this fortress at the moment? Now, my main miner is currently watching a bone setting demonstration. In theory, we have 5 miners in this fortress. But somehow, none of them is actually coming to do any mining. Oh yes, coal, coal, coal. We do actually have a problem there. Because I've accidentally got my only smelter set to pull things from gypsum stockpile, which is pointless because you can't do anything with gypsum at a smelter. Which is why we're so short of being able to smelt anything. All being well, now the smelter will actually start doing something useful. Oh yes, someone is apparently digging. Good. That will at least provide us with a supply of slightly interesting common stone. Slightly interesting and poisonous common stone, but still. This of course assumes that you can actually get to there, but I think we can. Kind of inconvenient because you have to go through the drainage system. That one is currently passable, yes. Do we know of any more? Kaolinite. It's on this side as well. Oh, there's another kaolinite cluster, though that's mostly intercepting the caverns. Intersecting the caverns, rather, so I suspect much of that cluster is not actually accessible. There's another one. Caverns are very useful for prospecting. It only takes the briefest of glimpses into the cavern to get vast amounts of information about what is where. Oh, someone else is making a masterwork. Have we got any pedestals yet? Oops. Yes, we should have 8 new pedestals, plus the one we just bought. So we can erect those along here. and then stick people's heads on them. Well, goblins' heads on them. I don't know where the Forgotten Beast is. Yes, it was indeed an enormous beakless pigeon, but I think it was in the caverns and will probably wander off eventually if it can't find any way to get to us, which it shouldn't be able to. All right, it looks like that. Oh no, I was going to say that. Why is this is all just conglomerate? Okay, no, it's shale. All right, the boundary between shale and conglomerate's about there. Right. Asmel Duminod is immediately making a mysterious construction and we don't have to pay any attention to it. Excellent. Oh, we do have a shortage of bags. Let's just schedule a bunch of make cloth bag jobs. So that may be limiting our ability to produce rock nut oil. There's still some more cinnabar to mine. I think we now have 2 miners working on it, which is nice. We're making masterwork pigtail socks, which is something. Not sure I'm willing to call that nice, but right, we didn't even come close to filling our cloth bins. Is the hospital properly equipped with like cloth and thread and such? Properly meaning whatever it as many as it defaulted to, yes. Yes. Has more thread and more cloth. We're actually apparently short on splints. Not that we should really be using splints, we try to use plaster instead. We could probably buy a splint for buy some of their splints since we seem to be a bit short. Let's not buy the incredibly expensive splint. Searching for X does not help. Just randomly scrolling to a point where it turns out to be full of jewellery is fine though. Realise that I should actually sell the worn out clothes for preference, but snoozy Steph. Good night, Steph. Right. How's that mining going? Right, that bit's cleared. Right, they're now, miners are now trying to get over here to help with this area, we hope. They're not my best miner. My best miner is still watching a bone setting demonstration. I think she's getting held up behind someone holding it, pushing a wheelbarrow. Maybe that corridor needs to be even wider. Yes, the routing here is a bit unfortunate. I think we need to connect. If we're going to be mining kaolinite down there, we probably need to connect those kaolinite mines to the mining corridors rather than requiring everyone to get into the drainage systems to get to them. Okay, yes, have an amber opal amulet and claim it as a family heirloom. That's fine by me. It's very simple. It is an amber opal amulet. All grass straw ship is of the highest quality. This object menaces with spikes of amber opal. Nothing else. There is nothing else to say about it. Occurs to me I can actually mark all of the areas I want to mine like that. I can totally manually mark lower priority mining. That's meant to be lower priority than this. Keep the miners busy while I clear out this space. Right. So the idea of that is that then once we've cleared out all around the caverns, we can then auto mine the kaolinite up to the and we won't accidentally end up mining into the caverns. Obviously, if we could like mark the caverns as in the same way as hot or wet rocks, so that we would not automatically mine them. That would be nice, but let's just mark this as all low priority auto mine, because we've almost reached the edges. Rendered slightly complicated by the fact that there's lots of other kinds of rock tangled up with it, but so similarly, I think we can safely start marking this for auto mining, simply because it will only actually start getting auto mined once we've done most of the other digging. Right, and now the dwarves will safely, I hope, without entering the caverns, mine all of the accessible kaolinite on that side, and similarly on that layer, which should allow us to make more porcelain, which is at least slightly useful. Might need more tetrahedrite at some point, I'm not sure. Well, let's have a look. No, we've got plenty of tetrahedrite. Right, what else? Like, it's getting fairly late, so I might want to make sure that if I'm doing anything at the moment, it's something interesting. Oh, we should stick more heads on the pedestals, shouldn't we? Just look around and find more heads. Arstruck Aslot Tanketh. That looks like a dwarven name, but they haven't been buried, so I'm going to assume it's not. Zuspgath Urarathstab, or something like that. There it is. Box Obrucuxos. Right, any more goblin heads around? All right, it's autumn and things are falling from the trees. Appears to be a entire goblin skeleton. Well, we should dispose of that. In general, any white superscript 2 we find lying around should either be thrown away or put on a pedestal, depending on whether it's a skull or something else. Oh yes, let's just check there's no one stuck in the trees while we remember. That's looking good at the moment. Just having a quick glance around for spare parts of goblins. Oh, there's one. Ongo Astrogulta. Right, so that's all 10 of our currently set up pedestals have goblin heads assigned to them, or indeed in place on them. Apparently there's one just lying around just behind them, which probably wants I put a piece on display. That was satisfying. Yes, it's fine for them to leave. Oh, we've heard something of the Forgotten Beast. Because the Forgotten Beast has met a troglodyte somewhere where we could see. Briefly. No sign of them now, though. So yes, I think here it is, on the surface of the water. A huge beakless pigeon. It It has a round shell and it appears to be emaciated. Its aqua feathers are long and narrow. Beware its poisonous sting. It is indefatigable, incredibly tough and strong, but it is slow to heal, quite clumsy, and quite susceptible to disease. Its right upper leg is cut open, its right upper leg is dented, its lower body is cut open, its second toe, right foot, is cut open, its left wing is cut open, its right foot is bruised, and it's covered in tiny scars. Pink Beast suggests that the presence of the round shell suggests someone does not know how pigeons work. I think the pigeon does not know how pigeons work. Sorry. Obi Eddie does not know how pigeons work. It has a shell and it is a pigeon, and it defies you to claim otherwise. I think it... Can I not track it? No, I can't track it now because I think it descended into the water and has now... well, I mean, it might have died. I don't think so, though. But I think it's no longer visible to us because it's moved off the map. Well, not off the map, off the bit that we can see. Right, well, this mining appears to be going adequately safely. We haven't randomly penetrated the caverns and let the beakless shelled pigeon get in. That means we should actually be able to make some more porcelain bricks, which we can use to build things out of, which would be nice. We should probably work out how to connect this up more sensibly to where we actually want that stuff, though, shouldn't we? So where is our... Because our main mining, our main place for actually processing this kind of thing is here. So probably ideally we would carry on down there. Like that staircase, admittedly there is only one of it, which is kind of awkward. Am I not allowed to build a staircase in that? Yeah, I think I need to quickly edit that. Can I not like remove bits from a stockpile? If I select a stockpile and choose paint, then we have this weird thing that I can apparently add to the stockpile but not remove from it without wiping out the whole stockpile. How inconvenient. Oh well. In that case, for now we'll make this a single staircase. Minimal bit of mining to connect those up so as to avoid lugging all of that kaolinite by a rather complicated route. Though I seem to have sent the miners by slightly complicated routes to build it. Our drink levels are going down alarmingly fast. What are the limits on smelting hematite? Right, we already have enough hematite, so that yes, that's not firing. We don't actually have many spare rough gems. That's not firing because we don't actually have much silk. We are still making socks in indefinite quantities. We should probably slow down a bit. Let us cancel make cloth sock and make something different from cloth by default. Let's make cloth gloves, but with the same conditions. So I think, what did we do for the other one? Make yarn sock is when we have at least 20 yarn cloth, so we'll say similarly there, and let's move that up to be with the silk and yarn tasks, so as to avoid confusion. No, we can't make stone socks, that would be silly. I kind of want to see all of this connected up, even though that's not very helpful. Four pets. All right, they're all rabbits. That's nice. Oh, I should check on the... I don't think we are in the need of gelding any more livestock, but we should check. Yeah, that looks good. Oh, we've got a stray horse foal who can be gelded, though. Let's do that quickly, assuming it's like ours. Actually, I don't think we bought it, so... Oh, if we can, we should. Let's also allow our new birds to become pets. Oh. But I set the population cap, didn't I? Oh well. Hello, new migrants. You're only a novice swimmer. Similarly, you have almost no skills at all. Like you. Well, it's not very many migrants, at least. Sorry, just spotted a collection of teeth, which I think are actually beak dog teeth, but they're no more useful for that. Oh. Oh right, that's trying to dig that staircase. Let's designate that anyway. But then we should probably, yay, we've taken all our dead socks with them. Then we should probably smooth that so that it doesn't leak. Unfortunately, just these days, just getting miners to the cutting face takes a while. This miner is still not very good, are they? Oops. Talented miner, but that's apparently not very fast. So whenever I'm inspecting a dwarf, I should check whether they can swim, and if they can, put them in the military. Because we can teach them other things easily. Sadly, I don't think we can make a swimmer's guild hall. Here comes a miner, finally. And immediately damp stone on the layer below. No, they've got distracted and are going off somewhere else. Oh no, maybe not for long. Right, but in the meantime, let's mark that lot for smoothing. Well, yes, obviously we should be able to have a swimmers guild hall so that people can learn to swim without having to worry about the tedious practical bits of going near water. Oh. That's kind of alarming if it's damp there. Let's see if we can go around the damp bit. Might be a bit fiddly because I'd also need to go around this. It is draining slowly. Yes, maybe that would be a better plan actually. If we find a path up through there, I think that's a bet actually. Actually, no, shouldn't we have gone up one more level? Oh, probably. That's all soil anyway, it'll take no time to dig out. Oops, accidentally paused. There's someone coming here to do the digging. Huh. I just want to connect these two things up. Oh, we have struck limonite, though. Possibly not in an interesting way. How exactly did you... Oh, you did it from above. Yes, I see. Right, so now we can actually haul kaolinite in a sensible fashion. Oh dear. I think a cat was somewhere that a cat, as is so often the way, should not have been. Looks like the minecart was all right though, so that's okay. Right, so now that kaolinite can be hauled up to the surface. Well, not up to the surface, can be hauled up to the kiln that will be used to convert it into something more useful, into bricks, by a more sensible route than having to go all the way via the surface. So, do we have a brick making job, and what's its state? Currently have a 21 out of 50 continuously make clay bricks job. Okay, whatever. P.S. Herring. Right. And that's got smoothed so it won't fill with water. That's nice. Even though we didn't end up using that staircase. Right, well, I think that's probably a good place to stop for the night. We've started mining kaolinite again, so we can start covering everything in porcelain again. We've managed to get rid of... Let's actually check that. We've managed to get rid of some royal jelly. How much royal jelly do we currently have in stock? We should work out why we've got water lying around. We've still got 134 royal jelly around. Some of it in jugs. Some of that in the trade depot. Oh, but that might just be because the traders are apparently still packing up. They're trying to get all of that royal jelly onto their carts. So maybe in a little while we'll have less royal jelly. Thank you. Yes, okay, you can name your shield if you really want to. We struck turquoise. So, yes. Let's just quickly mark all of that so that it mines properly. Right, so yes, that will be all for tonight. And next time, who knows? I really have no idea what I'm going to do next. So come back on Sunday and find out. Until then, good night. Save to this timeline and find the button that says good night.